Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, today we are doing video number, I think, 6.
Yeah, it should be 6.
Is it should be 6?
Yeah.
I actually sat down here and forgot to count, so I don't know if it's 6. It is 6? Okay. Well, I fear that greatly.
Why?
It's possible I have a phobia against what number we're doing. Imagine when we get to number 13. I might be a little... we might have to skip that one because it might have to freak us out or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I do have a phobia against, like, certain numbers or something like that.
Well, I kind of have a phobia against number 13.
You do?
Sort of.
Why?
Well, it is considered the unlucky number.
Ugh. Yeah, and that could be unlucky. Why is the number 13 unlucky anyway?
I don't know.
You don't? No, neither do I.
Sometimes it's a lucky number, but other times it's mostly unlucky.
You know, it's kind of funny because if you were in like Vegas or something like that, if everybody doesn't pick 13 because it's unlucky, maybe you should pick it and maybe you'll win some of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe on the odds are.
And then watch you win the lottery and die in a car accident.
So you get the money, but you never get to collect. I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's possible. Well, today, as you might have guessed, we're going to talk about phobias. And okay, well then let's go. Our phobias in particular, I have some personal information that I wanted to read here, is it is usually defined as a persistent fear of an object or situation in which the sufferer commits to great length of avoiding. So, you know, it'd be something like paying taxes, you know, we want to keep away from that or move out of that kind of thing. Or something like fear of getting up in the morning and going to work. I'd rather lie in bed.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Do you have a particular fear?
I have a few fears.
You do?
I'm kind of scared of being buried alive. I kind of forget what that's called though.
Do you think anybody would fear that? Yes. Unless you're dead.
Yeah. Heights, which is acrophobia.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it's called acrophobia or something like that. It must be a scientific name or something.
Well, don't fear that.
I'm also kind of scared of falling.
Call it falling?
Yeah.
Falling what? In love?
No.
She's afraid of falling in love. What are you afraid of falling from? From a plane?
Kind of.
Yeah, well, she's going to be on a plane soon in a while, and she's going to have no choice but to either fall in love with the plane or fall out. Of course, I'm not prepared for the fallout, but that's okay. It's your phobia.
Kind of.
So I'm going to try to work on Abby's phobia, because when we take her to Maui coming up, she's going to have to live with the fact of flying and being up in a high place. Just like her mother doesn't like going over oceans. Well, hello, you want to go to Hawaii? There's only one way to get there. We haven't invented like teleporting yet or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would have a phobia with that one. They probably haven't invented that phobia yet. But the phobia of taking all your particles and splitting them apart and then jamming them all back together in another place just kind of makes me fear. Because what happens if I don't know, if something gets mixed in there, like in the movie The Fly, where the fly gets mixed into the particles. Or what happens if I come out the other end and, I don't know, something's missing. Ugh. It's not good. It's not good. So I have a fear of, or a phobia of that. So today I wanted to go through a few different words that me and Abby can kind of go with. We're going to look at some different phobias. So I just picked a few just for the heck of it to see what they are. And maybe you could say them too, because I think the names of them are like crazy. I don't know what to do about that. So the first one is called the fear of washing or bathing, which definitely would be Abby's fear.
It's not that I'm scared of it, it's just I kind of hate it. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's something about being unclean which appeals to her, which doesn't appeal to anybody else.
I know.
I know, it's awful. Now the name for that is, I shall try to say it here, is blue-topia-phobia. Blue-topia-phobia?
Looks like, yeah.
Yeah, blue-topia-phobia. Now what's the blue got to do with being unclean or like not bathing? Oh, maybe it's the water because it's blue?
Well, in real life, water actually isn't blue. It's mostly just see-through or really dirty or muddy or something like that.
Ugh. So the blue has nothing to do with it?
Not really.
Cool. Well, that could be too. Okay, so anything else about that? Like washing? I mean, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I enjoy it. It's fun. Washing is good. Okay.
It's good, but still, I don't know, I just don't like it.
I don't like it. Okay, so our next one, and I thought this one was kind of cool, is bogey phobia. And it is the fear of bogeys or the boogeyman, or boogies. Or yeah, yeah. So, you know what? If the boogeyman, like, you ever seen the movie Halloween? It's one of the best lines in the whole movie. They were talking about the boogeyman with some kid or something.
Near the end.
Yeah, but Jamie Lee Curtis was talking to him about the boogeyman before. And then right at the end, after Donald Pleasant shoots him and he falls off the thing, she's crying in the corner and she goes, "Was that the boogeyman?" And he goes, "I believe that was." And then he turns and looks and the guy's gone, the boogeyman's left.
And the Halloween theme just begins playing over the scene as Jamie Lee Curtis starts crying and Sam Lewis, which is Donald, just like looks off in the distance, really scared, like, oh crap.
Yeah, exactly.
And you hear his heavy breathing over the as the scene starts taking over the entire house and making it seem like he's still out there somewhere.
Yeah. So I have a theory with that. I believe that the only person that doesn't have fear of the boogeyman is the boogeyman himself. Yeah, he's the only one. But even when he looks in the mirror, it might scare the head out of him. I don't know. But, I mean, have you ever looked at Michael Myers? If he had that mask on, he looked in the mirror and he'd go, "Oh, I forgot I had the mask on," kind of thing. He'd scare himself. But, so fearing of the boogeyman, or bogey, or whatever it is, definitely we have that. Now, mind you, I was looking at that word, and it says bogeys. And I'm thinking, like, what do they call, like, unidentified flying objects when you're in an airplane? They call them bogeys.
Really?
Or when you're going to shoot somebody or another plane, they call them bogeys. So they're like the enemy or something like that. So fear of the enemy or the unknown, maybe that fits with bogeys or boogies or whatever. Even though some people have the fear of disco music, and that's like when you're boogieing, you know, like kind of thing. And so, would you go dancing to disco music?
It depends.
Ah, see, she's got a fear of boogieing.
I love dancing.
Oh, yeah.
But
in public?
No.
Maybe she has a...
I like same thing with singing. I love singing, but as long as it's not out loud or anyone else can hear me, I don't.
Yeah, and as if you don't actually hear it while she's in the shower. But anyways, that's great. So our next one I thought was interesting is the fear of returning home. Oh, and I thought, well, that's kind of interesting.
Well, if they're an abuse victim or they're not safe in their own home, like from Slender Man or a killer or something like that, then it makes sense.
Yeah, but then if you were in, like, I don't know, someplace like Hawaii or something like that, I would fear returning home. I like being where I am. Be something like that. But then, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, she didn't fear turning home. She wanted to go home.
She was getting really homesick.
Yeah, exactly. So she didn't have this fear, and it's called nostophobia. But I kind of looked at this word and I thought it was kind of funny because if you look at it, it's going no stop phobia, if you kind of split it up. So I'm thinking, like, don't stop, don't pass go, go home. But don't fear or don't go home. And like,
it's a mind screw.
It is a mind screw, and my mind is screwed. So is hers. But
well, I do have some mental problems, but it's nothing too screwy.
Yeah, it's not too serious. She's not the boogeyman.
No.
And he's got mental problems. Now, our next one I thought was kind of fascinating, and I thought I would give this one to Abby because I thought it was kind of interesting. It is the fear of glaring lights. But what I thought was interesting with it is its name is phobia. And I'm like, photo. So it's like photo, which is like photons, which is light, right?
Yeah.
Right? But then it's got this oglia, which is almost like uglia. So, like, you know, I hate ugly light. I mean, I'd rather have something different, you know. So, the fear of glaring lights. So, if you, like, had that fear and you went to, like, Vegas or something, you would be screwed. It wouldn't be very good. Yeah, or you went to New York, like in Times Square or something like that, or Tokyo, like where there's lots of lights. Not good. Not going to work. Not going to work. So I find these phobias are interesting, and we're going to talk about our phobias in just a second.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make a quote. There's a quote from Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and I didn't know he did this, but it is, and you may have heard this before. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Unjustified terror which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance. So when we have like a phobia or a fear, it paralyzes us so that we don't move forward. We're kind of stuck in fear, and so we don't move anywhere. It paralyzes us.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like it says, going to great lengths to avoid doing it. Like, have you ever seen the movie As Good as It Gets? And he has a fear of walking on the cracks in the sidewalk, so he always skips over them. And actually the dog beside him was doing the same thing. It was kind of funny. But, I mean, to have fears like that in your life, like, that would be scary. I don't know what I would do. So what is your worst phobia?
I have to say heights.
Heights? Yeah?
Yeah.
But you're tall.
I know.
It's not like she's a midget.
Tall. I am pretty tall.
Yeah, so she doesn't have...
as tall as my mom.
Yeah. So like you got your head in the clouds all the time.
Actually, to tell you the truth, I do have it metamorphically, of course.
Yeah, but you do have your shortcomings.
And I do have astrophobia, which is a fear of space.
Now, what kind of space? Where no man has been before?
Yeah.
Oh, like dating.
No, like the outside space, the outer space.
Oh.
Like where all the planets and stars and asteroids and meteorites and...
Which is kind of weird because she is a space cadet. But,
I know.
but well, that's very interesting. So how do you think you might overcome this fear?
Well, I kind of want to go to space, but I don't want to go to space.
Ah.
It's kind of for personal reasons.
Oh, yes.
Because I want to save someone that's in space, but...
And that would be a good thing.
But... I can't tell the name right now, otherwise you'd think I'm crazy.
That's right, and we don't want that. So that's your secret, though. But you'll be, she wants to go and fight her fear. Now, my phobia in particular, I think everybody would agree, that knows me a little bit, is I have a fear against like overweightness. It bugs me. Hey! Now, I'll admit I have a phobia, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit, and it's not necessarily a great one, but it's mine, so I have it. And my phobia is like people that have gained weight or something like that. It kind of freaks me out. I guess because I hanged around a few people that had a lot of weight problems when, you know, and I guess, I don't know. It just creeps me out, which is kind of funny because I'm the one who's not skinny, right? Like I've got a little bit of weight on me, but yeah, I try to work out, try to eat things, but it's freaking me out just a little bit. So part of me is kind of like messed up over the whole thing. So that's my phobia. And do you have like a phobia like that?
No.
No? Not at all?
Not, unless they're really, really fat. I'm not really creeped out by it.
Oh, well that's good. She shouldn't be creeped out by it, neither should I. But I don't know, it kind of bugs me a little bit. So that's kind of like my phobia, which is kind of funny because my other phobia really in some ways is I like food. And you like food too. And so if you like food but you also don't like gaining weight, you're probably neurotic or something like that. So, well, all I wanted to do today was just let everybody like talk about their phobias. I'm sure everybody has some. And if you were to like go to this website that we had, like they call it the phobia list online, you can see that there are a whole types of phobias. And you'll probably find out that you have half of them and you're as neurotic as the rest of us. Because I found most of it, I could look at and say, hey, that's me. I get it. But, so, you know, I mean, it's tough having phobias and stuff like that. But on the other hand, it could be your own personal identity. You can have some fun with it. It could be you. And you can enjoy it and be proud of it. So, well, until next time then, this is Patrick and
Abigail
saying peace.
Peace off, peace lovers.
Should have covered the bird. Idiot bird.